Hello, pilots of the internet. Welcome to Foldable Flight. In this video, we'll be examining the differences between darts and gliders, the two main categories of paper airplanes, to examine their relative strengths and weaknesses. And we'll even take a look at some other types of planes as well. Darts tend to have narrow wings, and because their wings are narrow, they also tend to be pretty strong, which means you can throw a dart quite hard. And for that reason, darts tend to be the favored designs in distance competitions. The competitors use extremely narrow models and throw them like javelins in parabolic arcs. So darts don't generate a ton of lift, they're just aerodynamic enough to fly far with a fast launch. In general, gliders have wider and larger wings than darts do. They fly gently with better glide ratios. The fact that they have wider wings and more surface area means that they're often more flexible than the wings on a dart, which creates a bit of a challenge. This means that if you throw a glider too hard, its wings may flex in such a way that the plane is unable to fly correctly, leading to a crash. So gliders usually fare best with a gentle to medium hard launch. That said, certain gliders are folded so that their wings have strong leading edges, and they can be thrown much harder. These gliders are often used in competitions where competitors try to achieve the longest flight possible in terms of time aloft. Because the wings are strong, the plane can be launched high into the sky before gently gliding back to Earth. Now let's look at some examples of gliders. Silex drone has a huge wing surface and great glide ratio. Its wings are weak, so you need to throw it gently. And here, Atlantis can fly pretty far, but watching it in flight, you can tell that its distance is achieved through an exceptional glide ratio rather than through blistering speed. And Monarch is our third example. With wings that are wider than they are long, this is an archetypical glider. Here it is in flight. You can see that rather than throwing it forward, I throw it up into the air and try to maximize its airtime. Okay, now let's look at some darts. You can see that Sniper's wings are long and narrow. This is an archetypical dart design. It flies fast and in a straight line. Arrowhead's wings are somewhat shorter and wider, but it's definitely still a dart. And the front of Invictus is quite narrow, but the back half of the wings flare out. So which is it? Is it a glider or is it a dart? Well, it's still a dart. You can throw it really hard, and it also flies fast in a fairly parabolic trajectory. So when it's hard to tell by the shape of the plane, you can tell if a plane is a glider or dart based on how it flies. But as you can see, these classifications are not a perfect system. There's no clear line that divides gliders from darts. In truth, it's a spectrum, and there are planes that exist in the middle that are hard to classify. I call these planes hybrids. Stratus would be one such example. It has fairly wide wings but flies like a dart. In fact, the more I throw it, the more I think it might just be a dart rather than a hybrid. But that's the point. These classifications are subjective. There are some planes that one person might consider a dart that another would not. Aves is another example of a hybrid. Though its wings are relatively narrow, it actually prefers gentle to medium hard throws, like a glider. So I told you that darts are the best models for distance competitions. Well, I may have lied. In recent years, that assertion has actually really been challenged. In 2012, John Collins designed a glider that flew 226 feet when thrown by Joe Ayub, smashing the previous world record held by Steven Krieger, who you saw earlier in the video. So at the very least, there are some real questions to ask about whether darts are better for distance, or if gliders have permanently stolen the throne. But it remains to be seen which type of plane will win out. It's perfectly possible that a new dart design will emerge and reclaim the world's longest flight. But it's also possible that we've reached a turning point, and it will be gliders that dominate the distance competitions of the future. And while we're talking about categories of paper airplanes, there's one more I should mention, and those are stunt planes. These planes are purpose-built to do some cool trick like a backflip or a spiral. The fact that a plane can be classified as a stunt plane doesn't prohibit it from being also considered a dart or a glider. It's just an additional category that a plane can fall into. One example of a stunt plane on my channel is Circuit Racer. If you throw it correctly, it will fly in a large circle back to you like a boomerang. Stunt planes can be difficult to design because they require one of two things: either a happy accident or knowledge of the aerodynamics that go into performing any specific trick. I won't bore you with the details of the aerodynamics behind Circuit Racer in this video, but maybe I'll ramble on about it in another video sometime. So that's all you need to know about the various categories of paper airplanes. Let me know in the comments whether you prefer darts or gliders, or maybe you're all about stunt planes. I personally like a variety of all types of planes, but maybe you're a specialist. And if you're interested in folding any of my planes shown in the video, check out the description for links to the YouTube tutorials. Be sure to subscribe for more awesome paper airplane content by clicking on my channel icon in the top right corner. Or check out another one of my videos here. And if you really like what I do, head over to foldableflight.com or patreon.com/foldableflight. And as always, thank you for watching.